Are there many gays in India? How do they treat LGBT people there? Introduction. India, a land of diverse cultures, traditions and religions, has long been a mosaic of varied human experiences and identities. However, the topic of sexual orientation and gender identity has historically been surrounded by stigma and taboo in many parts of the country. Over the past few decades, significant strides have been made in recognizing and understanding the LGBTQ community in India, yet challenges persist. This article delves into the presence and experiences of gay individuals in India, exploring their visibility struggles and the evolving societal attitudes toward LGBTQ people. Historical context. Ancient India. Historically, India has been known for its rich tapestry of cultural acceptance regarding diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. Ancient texts such as the Kama Sutra, written between 400 BCE and 200 CE, discuss homosexual acts and recognize various forms of sexual pleasure without moral judgment. Temples, such as those in Khajuraho and Konark, depict same-sex relationships in their carvings, indicating a level of acceptance in ancient times. Colonial influence. The acceptance of homosexuality took a sharp turn during the British colonial era. The introduction of Section 37777 of the Indian Penal Code in 1861 criminalized carnal intercourse against the order of nature, which was interpreted to include homosexual acts. This law imposed a Victorian moral framework that stigmatized and penalized homosexuality, leading to widespread discrimination and repression that persisted long after India's independence in 1947. Contemporary landscape. Demographic presence. Quantifying the exact number of gay individuals in India is challenging due to societal stigma and the resulting underreporting. However, based on global estimates, it is suggested that LGBTQ individuals constitute around 5 to 10% of any given population. With India's population surpassing 1.4 billion, this suggests a substantial number of LGBTQ individuals. Visibility and representation. The visibility of gay individuals in India has increased significantly over the past 2 decades. Media representations have evolved, with Bollywood films and Indian television shows beginning to portray gay characters and same-sex relationships more positively. High-profile individuals, such as fashion designers Rohit Bal and Wendell Rodrigues, have also openly identified as gay, contributing to greater public awareness and acceptance. Legal milestones. Decriminalization of homosexuality. A landmark moment in India's LGBTQ history came on September 6, 2018, when the Supreme Court of India decriminalized consensual homosexual acts among adults by striking down parts of Section 377. The ruling was celebrated as a victory for human rights and equality, marking a significant step towards dismantling centuries-old prejudices. Recognition of transgender rights. In 2014, the Supreme Court recognized transgender individuals as a third gender in the National Legal Services Authority NALSA v. Union of India case. This ruling affirmed their right to self-identify and sought to ensure their inclusion in socio-economic development programs. While this was a significant step for transgender rights, the broader LGBTQ community continues to fight for comprehensive anti-discrimination protections. Societal attitudes. Urban vs. rural divide. The experiences of LGBTQ individuals in India vary widely between urban and rural areas. In metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore, there is a growing acceptance of diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. Pride parades, LGBTQ support groups, and inclusive workplaces are becoming more common. Conversely, in rural areas, traditional beliefs and lack of awareness often result in greater stigma and discrimination. Family and social acceptance. Family plays a central role in Indian society, and acceptance within the family unit can significantly impact an individual's well-being. Many LGBTQ individuals face rejection, pressure to conform to heterosexual norms, and even forced marriages. However, there is a slow but growing trend of families accepting their LGBTQ members, often driven by younger generations and greater exposure to global cultural shifts. Religion and homosexuality. Religion is a significant influence in India, and attitudes towards homosexuality vary among different religious communities. Hinduism, with its diverse interpretations and historical acceptance, shows a range of attitudes. Some Hindu texts and temples indicate a historical tolerance of homosexuality. In contrast, conservative interpretations of Islam and Christianity, which are also prevalent in India, often oppose homosexual acts. Progressive religious leaders and organizations are emerging, advocating for a more inclusive interpretation of religious teachings. Challenges faced by the LGBTQ community: discrimination and violence. Despite legal progress, discrimination and violence against LGBTQ individuals remain pervasive. Many face harassment, blackmail, and physical violence, both in public and private spheres. Hate crimes often go unreported due to fear of further victimization and lack of trust in law enforcement. Mental health issues. The stigma and discrimination faced by LGBTQ individuals contribute to higher rates of mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. The lack of supportive mental health services and counselors who understand LGBTQ issues exacerbates these challenges. Initiatives like the Humsafar Trust and Naz Foundation are working to provide support and advocacy for mental health within the community. Employment discrimination. Workplace discrimination is another significant challenge. Many LGBTQ individuals face bias in hiring, promotion, and workplace interactions. While some multinational companies and progressive Indian firms have adopted inclusive policies, comprehensive legal protections against employment discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity are still lacking. Progress and advocacy. LGBTQ activism. LGBTQ activism in India has grown substantially, with numerous organizations advocating for rights, awareness, and acceptance. Groups like the Humsafar Trust, Naz Foundation, and Quirala work tirelessly to support the community through health services, legal aid, and public education. Media and cultural representation. The media plays a crucial role in shaping societal attitudes. Positive representation of LGBTQ individuals in films, television, and literature helps challenge stereotypes and promote acceptance. Bollywood movies like Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdan and Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga have portrayed same-sex relationships with empathy and nuance, contributing to a broader cultural shift. Corporate inclusion. Corporate India is gradually recognizing the importance of diversity and inclusion. Companies like Tata Steel, Godrej, and Accenture have implemented policies to support LGBTQ employees, including non-discrimination clauses, health benefits for same-sex partners, and employee resource groups. These initiatives not only foster a more inclusive workplace, but also set a positive example for broader societal acceptance. Conclusion. The journey toward full acceptance and equality for LGBTQ individuals in India is ongoing. While significant progress has been made, particularly with the decriminalization of homosexuality and increasing visibility in media and public life, challenges persist. Discrimination, violence, and societal stigma continue to impact the lives of many LGBTQ individuals, particularly in rural areas and conservative communities. Continued advocacy, education, and supportive policies are essential to creating a more inclusive and accepting society. As India grapples with its historical, cultural, and social complexities, the hope is that the progress made thus far will pave the way for a future where all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, can live with dignity and equality.